Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this week we are just going to do a video about my most important non-perishable foods that I always keep at home. And because there's a lot of talk about food shortages and also talk about, the rising prices of these staple food items, I think it's important to maybe just, remind everybody of all these simple things that we can have at home. And if something were to happen, we already have all this stuff in abundance at home. We can make many, many meals with it, and they are very low cost options. So I'm not sure if it is, just the hype. I don't know if it's all over, the world. Everybody is feeling this, but I have noticed that the prices of certain items has increased, and so that makes me worry a little bit because maybe there is some truth to what a lot of people are saying, that there is going to be a major rise in prices on food, and then also there will be shortages on certain items that are used very, very often. So with all this in mind, even if nothing were to happen and there is no food shortage, the prices do not get even crazier than they are right now, or they're talking about also going into the winter, that there might be blackouts and whatnot. So with all of these things that people are talking about, even with that aside, I'm just going to say that it is good to have these things at home no matter what, because anything can happen. And I just feel like having these things at home, that you've got everything you need should an emergency happen. Now, living in Canada, we haven't had, thankfully, issues. We don't have, these extreme, tornadoes and things like that, a lot of our neighbors have. So we don't really, stockpile things typically, and we don't, have to worry about, extreme weather typically. But we did have an ice storm years ago that knocked out power for a long time in certain areas, but some people lost power for like over a week, and I don't know how you cope when you have children. So my heart goes out to those people and people that have to deal with this stuff all the time. Again, living in Canada, I'm very fortunate that we don't have to deal with this stuff. Now, slowly, as things are changing, we do get like mini tornadoes, things like that cause some damage to houses here and there. It's very minor compared to our, American neighbors that have to deal with major catastrophes. So I think that the minimal things that we go through, we make it sound like it's a big deal, but really in comparison to other people, it's not that bad. But if things are going to be, potentially worse, and, they're talking about potential blackouts, I'm not a winter person and I stress already about winter. So when people tell me things like that, I kind of get a little bit panicky. I try not to, but I am just being real. I do get a little bit panicky. So we do have, really large pails full of lentils and, chickpeas. We have rice. We have like huge, huge bags of this stuff, and we have it stored in the basement, and it's in airtight bags that have been sealed so they will last a long, long time. So that might sound a little extreme to some people, especially living here where I do. But we've got it just in case. Now, aside from that, we also have in bulk and kind of stockpile a few other things. Again, we are small living, so we can't have an abundance of things to the point where you can't move in the house or our whole storage room is just like food. So it has to be within reason, and it has to be, that's why with the pails worked well, because we can stack them and we can put them in little nooks in the basement in the storage. But in my pantry, which I have on the main floor, and in my kitchen, it's a small living space. So I have to be really strategic about what I'm buying. And we still buy in bulk all the time because it saves money and it's just so much easier. And I'll just show you some of the staples that I always keep at home. So should anything happen, I've got a million meals that I can come up with what I've got at home. Maybe, you live in a small space too. I totally get it. But even in a small space, you can still be able to store certain things. You just have to think outside the box and organize a bit better. And, these simple things that you can keep at home, should an emergency happen, they will, save you a lot of grief. Okay, so also these things are non-perishable items. So if, the power goes out and you have a freezer full of things, yes, you are going to be able to go through a lot of that stuff and, still keep the majority probably of your things. But I wouldn't recommend, stockpiling too much in the freezer, because if you lose power and you don't have a generator, then what are you going to do? So when I'm talking about non-perishable items, I'm talking about dry goods that can last for a long time, or things that are in Tetra packs, like you can get milk in Tetra packs, and that's going to last a very long time. You're going to look for dried beans, lentils, things like that that are non-perishable and will last, an immense amount of time, and you don't have like a, struggle or stress to get through these things quickly because they have a long shelf life. You want to look at non-perishable items that you can come up with many meals for, and that will last a long time in your home and you won't have to worry about it. Like canned tomatoes, that's another really good one. You want to have like trail mixes, things like that that are very easy to keep at home, and they're sealed. They're not going to go bad quickly. So, you can use them, obviously throughout the year, but always have a little bit extra just in case, so that if something should happen, you've got that extra stuff. So veggies are perfectly healthy even if they're coming out of a can. I'd much rather you have canned veggies than no veggies, because something happens and you can't get to the grocery store, or there is, a major storm, or there's food shortages and you can't get what you need. If you have canned veggies, you always have backup. You can buy frozen as well, but again, if you are having like a blackout where there's no power, then you're, not going to be able to keep your frozen goods very long. So use them while you can, but it's not a long-term thing should something happen. Where the canned ones, you just open it and you can eat them right there and then. So it is a really, really good option. So where do we get our non-perishable items? So any grocery store that has a lot of things that are going on sale, I will buy in bulk. So if it's like pastas or things like that, or tomato sauce, I'm going to buy that in bulk at a regular grocery store. We also go to Costco, and we go to the business Costco. Business Costco has like basically quantities that they sell for like restaurants and things. So it is even larger quantities and even cheaper. So if you have a business Costco near you, you don't need to have or own a business. You can walk in there and buy what you need. So we do utilize that tremendously. So where else can you buy? If you have a bulk store near you and they are willing to work with you to buy things in bulk, like oats in bulk, you can go ahead and do that and put that in airtight containers or sealable bags, so that you know that it's going to be safe and will last a very long time. When you're buying in bulk, you're already saving money. But even if you're not buying in bulk, when you see things on sale, buy a larger quantity and then keep them at home. Stockpile them while they're on sale, and you can get some really, really amazing deals. These are things that you can slowly do. You don't have to go to the store and buy like all this stuff all in one shot. No, wait till things are on sale and then buy them as you need it, and make a little stockpile slowly. And you know that you've got them at a really good price, and you know that these items can be used in many different meals. So start thinking about that. When you see things on sale, don't buy just what you need right now. Buy some extra and have a little bit of a stockpile, so that should something happen, you've got backup. And so let me just show you some of the things that I like to keep at home all the time, no matter what the weather is. I know that I am going to be prepared, and I can make many, many meals using these very, very simple and inexpensive options. Okay guys, so crackers are a great bread alternative should something happen that you can't get bread and you don't have the ingredients to make bread at home, or your oven isn't working because there's a power outage. Crackers are a great alternative. They will keep your belly full, and it's kind of like a bread alternative, I guess. So we do keep these beetroot crackers all the time in bulk. They come like this in these types of packages, so they're sealed up and they last a very long time. They also have sweet potato ones. They have a variety of different ones. They even have like a rice cracker one as well. So this is a great idea to keep on hand, and it's really easy. And you know, if you can stack them up in your pantry, then that's perfect. They do go on sale every so often as well, so you can buy them a lot cheaper. Or if not, if it's easier to store them like this, you can also put them in a basket and just line them up and keep a whole bunch of crackers on hand. So Tetra Pak milk is another great option. I know they have powdered milks if they're the dairy form. I'm not sure if there's non-dairy powdered milks. I'm sure there probably is if you're in a real jam and you really want to stock up something like that. But these will last, like, I think something crazy like 9 months or more. Their shelf life is really long, and you can buy a variety of different non-dairy milks in these Tetra Paks, and they will last a really long time. So these are a great alternative, and you can find like really high protein plant-based milks like this in the Tetra Pak. So that will keep you going for a long time, and you won't have to worry about not getting adequate nutrition should something happen. And then another milk alternative is coconut milk. You can buy this in cans as well. So if you feel like you know the Tetra Paks won't work for you, or you want something else other than that, canned coconut milk is another great option. Having jarred or canned tomatoes is also a staple, and you should definitely have these on hand, not only to make pasta, but you can also make a lot of other dishes really easily by having this stuff on hand should you have an emergency. So tomato sauce, and I buy it in, you know, many different forms. This one you don't even need a can opener for, which is another tip if you don't think that you might have a can opener on hand. You can even store these at like the cottage or something quick and easy, and you don't even need a can opener for that. So yeah, and then like these are really big cans of tomatoes, and like I said, when they're on sale is when I buy them. So these typically go on sale quite often. It's just pureed tomato sauce, and they sell them by like the case. There's like 12 of them, and we always have stuff like this on hand no matter what. So pasta is another great thing to keep on hand whenever you need a quick and easy meal. It's also really good to have on hand as a non-perishable item. So I have different ones that I always keep at home, like brown rice pasta, which is really, really healthy and really, really filling. And like whole wheat pastas, and then I have like the really high protein pastas as well, like the chickpea pasta. This is huge, and it's from Costco, so we do buy stuff like this in major bulk and always keep at home because I do make this stuff every once in a while anyway, and it's just really good to have, and then I don't have to buy it basically at full price because I always buy things when they're typically on sale, and that way I have it at home and I can cook like that and save money. So this is a great and easy way to, quickly make a meal, whether you're stockpiling or not. These are just really good ideas to have on hand when you're plant-based, because you never know when you're in a pinch and you need to make a meal really quickly. You've got stuff like this handy and accessible to you. So I always like to keep pumpkin at home all year canned, and I have smaller cans and then larger cans depending on what I'm using it for. But this is a great alternative as well to, adding a little bit more variety to your canned food. And then, like different veggies as well that are canned are perfectly fine to have as well. I just have corn here. I do have mushrooms and things like that. And it's just really cheap. A lot of times, a lot of grocery stores will have them on sale. So why not just, buy quite a few and keep them on hand just in case. So of course, you're going to like the fresh version much better, but if you're in a jam, things like this are just a really good alternative to have at home, just in case you need some extra veg. So canned and dry beans and lentils are a great protein and fiber source. So I always keep these on hand just for convenience as well, but also just in case something were to happen, we have these non-perishable items that are really good. So we have like lentils in a can, different ones depending on when they're on sale. We just pick those up. We can buy these in bulk at Costco, and they're just black beans in a can, organic. And then the dry option as well, like I said. So we do have them in large containers that are stored in the basement in airtight sealed bags. But then we also have stuff like this that's accessible and just in a regular Ziploc, and I also have them in jars. so that when I want to soak them, they're just easy and accessible. This is a really good idea to just get into the habit of keeping things like this in your home, and that way you can, easily make a very quick meal using these canned varieties of beans and lentils. Okay, so this amazing find was found in the international aisle at my local grocery store, and it's a Portuguese product, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna start keeping this on hand. So they're in Tetra packs and they're ready to go beans, and you just have to basically open it up and you can eat it. They are just ready to go, ready to eat. You can just add whatever seasonings you want if you want to, or just eat it as is. And I just thought this is awesome. Black beans and then pinto beans as well. So if you have a international aisle in your grocery store, check it out, because you might find products like this and it's just beans. Nothing else is added to it, which I find is amazing. Yeah, so it's water and black beans. There's no oil or anything in it. So that was definitely one of my favorite finds to grab at the grocery store. Just, a super easy meal, and it's, again, very easy to store because they're not very big, and just keep them in the pantry.